Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Today I will be setting up a Reading Around the World challenge journal. The journal that I'll be using for this challenge is from Odyssey Notebook Journals, and it's a 68 GSM Tomo Reaver paper notebook with 400 pages in an A5 size. And this is a sketchbook because they had run out of their dot grid journals, so I'm hoping they can bring those back because while I don't mind using a sketchbook, I do prefer dot grids instead. Now, because it's only 68 GSM, the paper is very thin, so there can be some ghosting depending on what pens you use or markers, so just be mindful and always have like a testing page at the end of your journal. And now, let's dive in. For the cover page, I decided to get started with the Stamperia Lady Vagabond paper pack. I'm using my rounding tool to cut the corners of the page so that it just makes it easier to glue it in the journal. Next, I'm using my distress ink to vintage up the corners of the page so that it doesn't have too much of a sharp white line. I had no idea what I was doing, honestly. I was just going around and trying to make the white space feel more brownish and more vintagey. And so all of these items that you see, they're all come from the scrapbook paper pad, and I just cut them to fit the journal better. And no cover page is complete without a quote. And the quote that I chose for this journal is, "Books are the plane and the train and the road. They are the destination and the journey. They are home." Yeah, I thought this quote was very fitting about the content that this journal is going to have. To write the quote, I'm using my Lamy Safari fountain pen in a 1.9 stub nib with a Jacques Herbin Lidete ink. And I will link everything in the description. Next, I'm using my Sticky Club stickers. I thought like the world map would be a fitting to fit the white space there. Next, I'm building my index page, and I continued using the same scrapbook paper pack because I really like the color. It's very calm and vintage, and that's the feel that I wanted for this journal to be. This typewriter sticker is from Marigona Suli Art, and again, I was just trying to like distress it and make it a little bit more brown. And I'm doing the same with this book stack sticker, and I think this one I got from AliExpress. I will try to link any item that I can find. Next, I wanted to make the paper a little bit more vintagey and browny, and so I just went over it with my Distress Oxide ink. And now I'm just using my stamp to type out index. I thought the page felt a little bit too empty, and so I decided to go and create a border around it. I somehow feel like borders make everything come together. There was still a bit too much empty space for my liking, and so I decided to put on some more scrapbooking paper with a quote, and also some additional stickers with the book stack. My next page is going to be my Read the USA page, and I did mention that this is going to be my Read the World journal, but I figured since I already have like 400 pages in this journal, might as well include the Read the USA challenge as well, since the US is such a huge country, it didn't feel right to just have one book and tick it off my list. And so I wanted to also add an additional challenge so that I can read a book set in each of these states. Also, I didn't realize how thin the pages were going to be in this journal. And so be careful with the washi tape because the washi that I used was way too sticky and that kind of like warped the pages on the other side. And I just did not do a good job at it. So just be more careful than I was. Oh, and this world washi, I think I got it from AliExpress. And the map, I just searched for like blank USA map on Google and I just printed the first thing that I saw. I don't think I mentioned this earlier, but I think another reason why I wanted to go with this journal is because the pages are numbered. So that makes it way easier when you set up your index to kind of search for where each of your book spreads are. This coffee stained washi tape is from Notebook Therapy, and I was struggling so hard with it. I just wanted to get like a ripped effect, but I feel like I should have ripped it way before, and I learned that later in the process. And this is my Read the USA spread. Next, I'm going to create an index page which has a list of all of the states, and I'm going to leave enough space so that next to each state I can write the book that was set in that state, as well as the page number as to where I can find the review for that particular book. So I lost a bit of footage here, but basically what I ended up doing is getting a craft paper from a Natural Olive notebook that I had, and then all the stickers that you see are from pine binder paper. The next spread is Read South America spread. And I left enough pages in between this spread as well as the other ones that I did for Read the USA so that there would be enough to write a review for each book per each state. So there was roughly around 52 empty pages that I left in between. The flower washi tape that I'm using is from the Washi Tape shop, and the skinny ones are from Simply Gilded. The stickers that I'm using are from a previous Sticky Club pack. Now you'll notice that I haven't glued in the map just yet, and that's because at this phase I was still kind of debating if I wanted to have a map that had the country names in it as well to make it easier for me to identify where each of those countries is located. And you'll see at the final flip through that I did change the map and I did ended up going with a one that did have the country names. Next, I'll be creating an index page for the countries and their respective reads in South America. I decided to use this pet tape from the Washi Tape shop, and I feel like this might be one of my all-time favorites because the gold is so pretty. And similarly to before, I left enough space for each country so that I could write the respective book for that country as well as the page number. Next spread is Read North America spread. I'm using another washi tape shop flower washi, and I feel like the black and white washi is probably one of my favorites too. And the skinny washi that I'm using is from Simply Gilded. This is where I wish I'd had some dot grids or something, because I cannot do a straight line for the life of me. The stickers are also from Sticky Club. I felt like the page needed something more, and so I went in with my gold gel pen and just did a few little stars and dots here and there to make it sparkle, because why not? Next, I'm creating my index page for North America. I'm using the same washi shop tapes from earlier with the bird and the gold foiling. One thing that I was debating on is, if a book is based on multiple countries, what do you do in that scenario? Do you count it for both countries? Do you only count it for the majority country, the country where the author is from? Let me know in the comments. Next spread is Read Asia. I'm using the same world washi tape as before, and I'm trying to be more careful so that the other pages behind don't get warped. The skinny washi is also from AliExpress. All the stickers used are from Sticky Club. And I went in and added a few more sparkles. Next is my index page for Reading Asia. Since I don't trust myself writing in a straight line in a sketchbook, I went ahead and took some paper from an Archer and Olive notepad, and I just glued it in so that it's easier to write each country. And the washi tape I'm using is from Light Academia set from Notebook Therapy. Next, it's Read Europe. I had some leftover scraps from the World Washi Tape, and so I decided to just use it in the spread. I'll be honest, I think Read Europe may probably be my favorite challenge because I do read a lot of European books. So I'm very excited to see what else I will end up reading from those countries that I haven't touched before. All the stickers that you're seeing, they're also from Sticky Club. And I kind of kept this spread as like a black and white kind of spread. Next is my index page, and similarly to before, I just glued in some paper from an Archer and Olive journal. And the washi that I'm using here is also from Notebook Therapy. I do want to point out that I will be making more elaborate spreads for each of these books that I read in my actual reading journal, but I also wanted a spot where I can keep track of all of these books throughout the years rather than 1 year at a time. And so this is why I decided to keep a separate Read Around the World journal. And all the stickers that you see are from Sticky Club. Next spread is Read Africa, and I feel like this is the one that I'm most intimidated by. So if you have any recommendations for any books set in any African country that is like an easy dive in, like let me know. For the index page, I decided to switch it up a little bit and use craft paper instead. And the washi that I'm using is again from Notebook Therapy. Next spread is going to be my Read Oceania spread. I decided to go back to the scrapbooking paper because I felt like the bluish and green vibes went well with the theme. And I also ended up distressing the edges a little bit to make it look slightly more vintage. I didn't go with lettering in this one. Instead, I decided to use this washi tape from the Washi Tape shop. It's just like all the letters of the alphabet have flowers in them, and it's so pretty, and so I just decided to go with that instead. And the washi tape that you're seeing now, that is from Notebook Therapy. And finally, I'm making the index page for Oceania, and I'm using the same washi tape from earlier. But yeah, washi tape has this in two separate ways. One is with a crystal clear, and then the other is like a white backing. And if you use white paper, I personally prefer the white backing instead because it blends way nicer with the paper, whereas the plasticky one, that can be quite shiny. These are all the cold spreads for now. I'm gonna do a flip through of all of them. With that, thank you for watching and see you on the next video.